Today on the show, we're going to be talking all about cane tips. Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life, where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. On this channel, I make videos about living life with vision impairment, tips and tricks videos, how-to videos, and an emphasis on assistive technology that can help make your life awesome. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on notifications so you'll always be alerted every time I put out a new video. So quick disclaimer before we get started with this video. I am not an orientation and mobility specialist, okay? All the information I give in this video is just stuff that I've learned through experience and research, but I am not an expert by any means. So if you hear something that I say and you know it's not right, please let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn more and share accurate information with the community. Just please do it respectfully, okay? Be nice. All right, let's start talking about cane tips. Now, these are actual tips, not like tips on how to use a cane, but the actual cane tips. That's what we're talking about today. And the first one, or the first style we're going to talk about today, is probably the most popular. It's the one most people probably have, and that is the marshmallow tip. This tip, so named because, well, it looks like a marshmallow. It's shaped exactly like a marshmallow. Sorry. Of course I ate the marshmallow. It can come in different sizes. I've got a small one here and a larger one here. They can also be either rolling, like this large one is a rolling marshmallow tip, or not rolling, like this smaller one. This one does not roll. But these are considered, in my opinion, the Swiss Army knife of cane tips because they can be used for lots of different situations. They're big enough that they can roll over most obstacles. They're nice and lightweight, so if you want to use them for two-point touch, that will work. Or if you just want to have a tip on an ID cane and you're just going to be investigating steps and things like that, that will work also. The marshmallow tip will work for that. These will glide over most obstacles, although they do have this ridge here on the end that tends to get caught in on some larger obstacles like cracks and bumps in the sidewalk. Quick pro tip, if you're finding that happening a lot to you, take a little piece of sandpaper and smooth out that edge on your tip, on your marshmallow tip. Kind of round it off a little bit. That will help. Next, we have the pencil tip. So named because it is thin and long like a pencil, shaped very similar to a pencil, but it has a rounded off blunt tip. On average, these range from like 2 inches to 1 inch, and these are great, very low profile, very lightweight tips. These are not great for constant contact because this tip, it's basically a point at the end of your cane and it gets caught in everything. So these tips are going to be great for two-point touch and also for ID canes or canes that you don't need them for mobility or navigation, you just need it for exploration. Once again, if you want to see how deep a step is or a curb and you just need to poke at it with your cane, the pencil tip is going to be great for that. Fun fact, I took a trip to Europe in 2019 and I took 2 canes with me, and one of them was a pencil tip, and I didn't plan very well. The European cobblestone destroyed my pencil tip within 1 hour of walking around. The pencil tip could not handle the cobblestone and it just broke right off. I should have taken a better, more all-terrain tip like the one I'm about to show you. This is the rolling ball tip. This is the OG go anywhere tip. The ball tip, the ball is probably about the size of maybe a tennis ball, maybe a racket ball, and it rolls laterally side to side. It is a sphere shaped, so it will glide over most obstacles, making it perfect for constant contact users. The tip is big and heavy, so it's probably not the best for 2-point touch or someone that just wants to carry an ID cane. This is way overkill for an ID cane. But if you use your cane for mobility and you find your tip, your Marshmallow tip, getting caught in a lot of different situations, try out a rolling ball tip. The next tip we're going to talk about is the metal glide tip. And unfortunately, I don't have one with me. It's in my car. I left it in my car. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm such a disappointment. But this is the metal glide tip, and it's just that. It's made out of metal. It's about the size of a quarter. You know what it reminds me a lot of is back when I was in like elementary and middle school, the chairs at the desks, they always had that little metal disc at the bottom of the chair leg. That's exactly what this reminds me of. The tip doesn't move, it doesn't pivot or anything like that, and it's supposed to glide along and over concrete and asphalt and that kind of thing. In my opinion, in my experience, I've been using it for a couple years now, it doesn't glide that well. Over nice smoother surfaces like you're walking around in a mall or carpeting, it works pretty well, but concrete, sidewalks, it gets caught a lot in my experience. Now we're gonna get into some of the stranger, more outrageous tips that are available. This is one of the more bizarre cane tips that I have. This is, I think, just called the all-terrain tip. It is a long piece of plastic tubing that's about 10 or 11 inches long. It's about the same thickness as the pencil tip and even has a similar blunt end as a pencil tip, but it's also curved like a ski, like a snow ski or a water ski. It's attached to the cane with these wing nuts here, and this is supposed to be great for all types of terrain. And in fact, the listing says it's great on grass, dirt, and sand. It doesn't give a lot of information about how to use it. It says to kind of do it in like a snake pattern back and forth, but that doesn't really work well for me. I also had somebody tell me that you're kind of supposed to swing it back and forth like a bushwhacker, like you're trekking through the jungle. I don't know. Unfortunately, the bend in the tip isn't enough to act like a ski. The tip here just digs into the ground, digs into the concrete or whatever you're walking on, and so it gets stuck a lot. It would probably be good for 2-point touch because this thing does have a lot of flex and it bounces. It bounces really nicely, but I don't know. I haven't had much luck with this, but I'm gonna do more research and I'm gonna be coming out with another video in the future about the all-terrain tips. If anybody has used this or knows more about how it's supposed to be used, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm eager to learn more about this tip, the all-terrain tip. Next all-terrain tip is the Omni Sense tip. I recently did a video about this, and ever since getting this tip, this has become my daily driver. No pun intended because it has wheels, but this is the one that I've been using every day since then because it fits my style of cane use perfectly. The Omni Sense tip, it has 2 wheels on here. These are called Omni wheels because they can roll in any direction, omnidirectional. This makes this tip very versatile. It's great for constant contact, mostly constant contact. This is also a heavy tip, so it's not going to work great for 2-point touch. It's just too much weight down there at the end of your cane. Because it has these wheels that roll in any direction, it rolls over obstacles beautifully. This tip is also dishwasher safe. You can take the wheels off and clean them. Check out my video. I'll have it linked in the description down below or popping out on the card just above my shoulder here. And finally, probably one of the most bizarre tips, maybe I'll hold it this way, is the rolling wheel tip. Here, I'll hold it like this. There you go. It's basically a giant wheel attached to the end of a cane. The wheel is a rubber material. It's nice and firm. It's got a little bit of flex in the wheel. And it's very simple. It's just a hub or an axle and a wheel. So this one by far performs the best when rolling over obstacles, but you know, there's always a but. It is very hard to control. not hard, but it wobbles a lot. If you turn it at all, it'll start going in that direction. If you've ever tried to push a wheelbarrow, you know how if you tip a little bit, it goes in that direction because it's just rolling on one wheel. So this is very similar. It's just weird. Definitely the strangest tip I've ever used. All right, guys, so that was a nice assortment of cane tips for you, different tips and what situations they might be helpful for. I've got a bunch of videos on canes in general, even like the history of the white cane, where it came from. Also a video showing how to change your cane tip. So check out my YouTube channel for those videos. If you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a like and share it on social media. Comment down below, let me know what you think about it. All of that interaction definitely helps out the channel. If you would like to further support the channel, check out my Amazon and Teespring shop where you can get some blind and low vision t-shirts like this one I'm wearing here. I don't need sight, I use the force. Those links are also located down below. And finally, you can also become a member of The Blind Life. If you've ever gotten benefit out of my videos and wanted to give back, becoming a member is a fantastic way to do that. All that information linked down below as well. Okay guys, as always, thank you very much. Sam with The Blind Life. I will see you next time.